the walk animation. For the walk animation, I already duplicated, just a little heads up, I already duplicated my color pieces layer, and I renamed it walk. You can see right here, this is our first frame. Oops. Alright. So our first frame is actually going to be this. It's going to be him standing by in the idle. So we're going to Control J, duplicate it. This one, walk 2. Alright. Actually, I'm going to bring this over to the side. Bring up this. This is just a little bit of reference. It's always good to have reference when you're doing something like this, or any time. Actually, references are just good in general. When you're doing something, so you have something to fall back on and base your ideas on, and just make sure you're getting it right. All right. So this first frame, he's going to start to walk. We're just going to bring his legs out a little bit. He's going to start to swing this leg forward a little bit. This leg's going to be going back just a little bit. And then we're going to have this arm coming out a little bit, and this one going back a little bit. Alright, so let's see if we can get that going. Yes, for the walk I had my color pieces. I didn't split up the pieces yet, because the walk and the jump animation use 2 different files. Because for the jumps we actually needed to bend our elbows and our knees, but for the walk we just have straight legs, but it's fine. It'll look good still. So we're going to take the left leg and we're going to move it to the pivot. We're going to move that back just a little bit, maybe a little up. And then for the right leg, whoops. Actually, looks like we need to correct our layers here, so we're just going to bring the right leg up. So there we go. So it's in front. Okay. Starting to cross, and we're going to bring our arm up here. Yeah, that might be a little bit too much. There you go. Subtlety is the key. Bring that just a little bit forward. Looks like we got a little bit of pixels here for some reason. This might not be on your file. This might just be on mine, since mine's going to be different from the chopped up file that you'll have. So I'm just going to get rid of those. Maybe, hopefully. Okay, good. So those are all in the same file. Okay, just a little bit of cleanup. A little bit of cleanup before we get going deeper into the animation. So that's looking good. So we're also, for the walk, we're going to make his head go back and forth. So as he's walking, swinging his arms and legs, he's also going to be, swaying his head back and forth. We're just going to do this very subtly. Something like that will be just fine. Alright, so we got that. Alright, that's looking good. So we can duplicate this, bring that down here, call this walk 3. Now for walk 3, his legs are going to swing out just a little bit more in either direction. It's the same thing for his arms. So we're just following through with everything basically. So we'll take the right leg. It's going to swing out a little bit more. We're also going to try to make it look like his body is swinging or turning side to side, but it's hard to do with this solid piece, but I'll show you a couple tricks to get it going like that. Something like that's good. Okay. Over here we're just following through, so the arms are going to be swinging out a little bit more. And since they're swinging out a little bit more, he'll be turning his body this way, so the arm that's coming out in front of him, his shoulder will come out a little bit more. So we're going to take our left arm, put it forward a couple of notches, and take our right arm and bring it back just a little bit. So this way when we see his shoulders move, it'll give the illusion excuse me, that he is swinging his body back and forth. Alright, so that is looking good. Let's take a look over here. Actually, we gotta move the head just a little bit. Nothing too much. So you can already see that it looks like he's swaying. I mean, we're gonna have to do a little bit of correction like we did for the jump and for the idle, but other than that, it's already starting to look good. Alright, so then we'll duplicate this. Move that down, call it walk 4. And for this one, this is where his legs are going to be fully outstretched. So he completed his stride, and then after that we're going to start reversing it and then starting the reverse stride. So for this, completed his stride, so his head's going to be, this is going to be the furthest point at which we bring it back. His leg. Ooh, whoa, I had the wrong leg selected, I'm sorry. Bring it like that, we can even bring it a little forward. Okay. Let's see. Let's take his left leg this time, the right leg. Or I mean, the leg I was supposed to do before. And we'll swing that a little bit back. I'll also move it a little bit back too. Actually, we could bring this right leg up a little bit. There we go. I know it looks a little weird now, but once you see it animating, it'll look really good. So you can bring his arm out just a little bit more to the left, or away from him, I should say. Just a little bit more with swinging it out. So that's that for that. Let's take a look. Already you can see the motion that we got going. I like it. I like this, a little subtle. The arms could be a little bit more subtle, but they're looking good still. Okay, that's looking really good. Alright. So for this, when he starts to begin his stride, we're going to duplicate this guy. We're actually going to take our one frame. Oh, I'm sorry, not the walk 2. We're going to duplicate this guy. Control J, drag it all the way to the bottom. And call this walk 5. Because now we're starting to reverse the stride, but there are things we need to do now. We need to. This just helps us. We don't need to bring his legs back because they're already in the position that we need him to be. But now we can start to bring his arms back and his head swing back. So with this up for reference, we can take the head. Where we want to be right there. His arms. I'm going to start to sway back. So we'll bring that one right there. And even we'll bring a little bit forward towards him because his shoulder's coming back to where it originally was. We'll take that and bring that a little bit back. There we go. Like I said before, his legs are looking fine, so that's good. And then for the frame after this, that's where we're going to duplicate our walk 2. Drag that down. Call that walk 6. So this is looking good. So this is the same thing. Now we're just going to bring the head a little bit further in front of him. So now he's starting to sway his head forward. Now we can swing the arms a little bit in the other direction as well. Just a little bit. Something like that is good. And bring it maybe 1 notch or 2 notches forward, because now he's starting to swing his body the opposite way. Take a quick look. Alright, so that is looking pretty good. So now we're going to duplicate him. Control J, drag it down. You see there's a lot of duplicating. And now we're going to start swinging this leg out more. Or I'm sorry, we're going to actually swing this leg out in front of him more, and this leg back. And then we're going to swing his right arm in front of him more and his left arm back. Alright, so let's get started with that. Actually, let's do what we've been doing. Let's bring the head a little bit forward. Arm. It's going to swing out. Oh, looks like we got a little bit more layer issues. We'll fix it in just a sec. So it looks like his arm needs to be above the legs for this. Or not. There we go. I don't know. Oh, it was from the layer up above. Okay, so we got that. I'll have all this. I'll have all the right layers fixed up when you guys get the file. Since I'm doing this before I give the files out, I'll have them all fixed. Alright, and then so we're going to take his other arm, swing it back. Take his right leg. This one's going back a little bit. Take his left leg. And bring it out just a little bit. Alright, so now let's see it one more time. We're going to do this a lot just to see if what we're doing is what we want. See, even this you could just tell we have a nice fluid range of motion. The legs look a little messed up. Not messed up, but just they don't have the same flow, but they still work. So let's take a look. So he's walking. Swings his legs out. There we go. It's looking good. So I'm going to bring this down. Oh, don't forget to rename it. Walk 08. Alright. So now, this is where he's going to have his legs fully swinged out. This is where he's completing his other side of his stride. So we're going to take the head, turn it, his left leg, stretch it out a little bit more. You actually bring it down just so it's kind of level. I'm going to have to do that with some of the legs, but not all of them. Actually, we should move the arm first so we can see where our pivot, because it's kind of hidden behind the hand. So we'll take our arm, move it out there. This layer is blocking us, so we're going to see it like that. Okay. Now our left arm is actually going to be all the way behind us, so we're not even going to be able to see it. And we're going to bring it a couple notches back to show the swing of the shoulder. Same thing with this one. Alright, so now we'll take our right leg, or our right leg. We'll bring that like that. Bring it down just a little bit. So now you can see he's finishing his stride now. He's actually as close as in the references to this picture. Contact. See, now he's got his right arm out here. His left arm is behind him. His legs are looking good. So let's see what we got. And then we should be able, when we're animating, to just reverse it the same way that we were duplicating the other ones. Alright, so let's see what we got. We have this. He starts to walk. And then he'll go reverse back into that animation, and it'll look really good. Okay. So that's looking good. We're actually going to crop now. So you can hit the C key, bring all your groups into view. We're going to take our widest point. And our tallest point. There we go, there's our frame size. Hit the B key just to get out of crop mode. And then we're going to go little bit by little bit to see if there's any correction. Obviously this one doesn't need any correction since this was our base layer. So let's see if there's anything in here. I mean, there's little tiny things like this we should actually fix up. There's like a little bit of space between coloring, but this kind of stuff only takes a sec. We actually just put it on the same layer that we have it on. Then we'll go down here. More than likely be the same thing with that color correction. Alright, so let's see, we got some little things here we can color up. Just a little bit of issues. Yeah, like I said, everything probably within the hands there's going to be a little need for color up in each one of them. This will be something I have to fix again. Okay. Whoops. Where did I go? This is just more nitpicking on myself. Whoops. Just to get things looking good. Alright. So we'll go through this one by one. It is a little slow and tedious, but it'll be worth it in the end. Actually, we don't need this now, so we could full screen this. I'm just selecting the right, so whatever edits we make, those come up on top no matter where, or no matter what we're editing. This one's actually looking pretty alright. This one we could touch up the leg a little bit. Make sure it's connecting to this piece here. Alright, I think that's all it. Alright, so we're going to do our usual. Select each individual group, hit Control E. So we have all our different frames out. Then we're going to go to File, Scripts, Export Layers to Files. Once again, I have my path selected. Hit Trim Layers Off. Hit Run. Let it do its thing. There we go. For some reason it took a little bit for that first frame. Alright, it says it was all done correct. So now, let's see. Go in here. Alright, so that's looking really good. I like the motion that we have going on over there. And we could go check on our walk animation, or our jump animation, I'm sorry. And this one he's gonna crouch, crouch, jump, crouch, crouch, jump. Yeah, alright, that's looking good. I like the motion in both of them. I like the crouching that we have here. Like I said before, I like the motion that we have here. It all looks very good. Alright, so that is creating the animations, or the sprites for the animation. Now the next video will finally bringing all of our hard work together and putting it all into Unity to get it to animate. Alright, and I'll see you in Unity.